Hi, Jeff here. Maybe it was a family vacation or a field trip at school, but most of us, if not all of us, have been to some sort of theme park in our lives. Maybe not quite a theme park, but maybe like a McDonald's play place. Remember those places being so cool, but they have those, but like entire warehouse type buildings now? Let's go around the country and explore some of those places and see how bad of an experience some people had. And don't forget to leave a like if you like this video and subscribe for more, and leave a comment down below of what you want to see me do, because I'll gladly respond to your comment and I'll add it to my list and give you credit later. And don't forget to subscribe or you won't see that video, because I'm Jeff and we're about to get going, so hop on in and let's go. Our first stop here is the Funplex in East Hanover, New Jersey. There's two different ones. There's one in Mount Laurel, not Yanni, but we're doing the Funplex indoor park, not the outdoor water park. I'll be showing some B-roll on the screen now in the background of the reviews of what it looks like inside, but think of like a local state carnival, not like the big state carnival, but the one that maybe passes through a town, and think of those attractions, but inside a building, maybe shrunk down a little bit, throw in some go-karts, throw in a little bit of bowling, and you've got the Funplex. But the real question is, how much fun in Funplex is there? Let's go find out. Ryan has to say, had a party of over 35 people on July 20th of 2024. Couldn't even get on one ride with my son for his birthday party due to the amount of people cutting in lines in indoor rides. Workers and managers failing to rectify anything. Had guests wait over an hour and walk out of lines. 0 stars for this establishment. Would never come back here, not even for free. There's a special place in Hades for people who cut in line. There's always a little special rage when it's a one long run-on sentence, so let's see what Elijah had to say here. Horrible experience. They're racist. They're only respectful to white people. They take your money. Cindy and Abram were the worst of managers. They told me I wasn't allowed inside after my son fell off one of the slides in the water. They made us leave. We're in the process of suing them. Save your money. Don't go. So this happened at the water park section outside of the indoor Funplex section, but I'm really confused to why they got kicked out if their son fell off of a slide, unless he was horsing around or something, but still they get kicked out. And why are you suing them? I have so many more questions and I have answers for this. I really want to know. So far the trend is poorly managed and racist. Does it get any better? And an even longer run-on sentence. Here we go. Hi, I just wanted to address how I feel about the prices for this company. I totally understand for the unlimited rides and attractions for the kids, but for the adults and grandparents who bring their children to this facility to have a good time should not have to pay the same price as the children if they're just here to watch their children have a good time. I am very disappointed with having to pay $90 to watch my daughter have fun. Seems like some sort of profit deal to me, but no, in all reality, it seems very annoying to have to pay just to watch, even if you specifically say, I'm just watching, I am not going to be on any of these rides, I'm a 70-year-old man, like, nope, doesn't matter. What made Luca want to leave a 0-star review? Let's find out. I wish I could leave a 0-star review because at the ride Super Twister, there were 2 seats that did not work. One was squeezing my son so hard he couldn't breathe. His friend was next to him and his seat was broken and squeezing him too. When my son got off the ride, he said that when he got on the ride, the seat started to squeeze him so hard he told an employee it was squeezing him harder and harder. The employee said he was going to be fine, but she was wrong. I recommend never buying a ticket here, and most importantly, never going on this ride. Now this one's a little bit terrifying. I used to love going on the amusement park rides when the fair came through my town growing up, like the Fireball or similar rides like that, but man, if the ride was crushing me, I would have been so terrified. I'm so claustrophobic. That would have been a nightmare, so I understand. I would give this a 0-star review and stay away from the Super Twister as well. Crushed his kid. Rebecca gives us a little insight on how things have changed over the years. I've been here numerous times over the span of 10 years. They used to be nice and clean, but now it's dirty and filthy. Dust everywhere. Dirty cups laying on the floor with flies around. Nasty. Food is okay. Very overpriced for what you get. People and staff act like they want to die. They don't want to talk to you or else they will cop an attitude. Terrible place. It became ghetto. That was like the anti-run-on sentence right there. Periods and commas everywhere. Whenever I go to a new place, whether it's a restaurant, a hotel, like a barcade or something, you always want to look at the cleanliness, because if they can't be bothered to pick up like a cup or some loose paper or something lying around, then what are they doing behind closed doors? What's going on in that kitchen? What are they not cleaning? What are they skipping over on their cleaning duties and stuff? Like, kind of have to keep that stuff in mind. Moving on to the Denver area of Colorado, we're going to head to Bounce Empire. This place likes to advertise itself as very kid-friendly, but also friendly for adults. They do have 21 and plus overnights and 21 plus overtimes during the day, like a lot of different barcades do nowadays. It's like they're on a seesaw balancing act of trying to be a kid-friendly place but also be an adult nightclub. It's very interesting, very strange.
This is a chair.
Yeah,
like,
this is the smallest we could bring in here.
This is the smallest. Oh my gosh. Okay, tell us about Bounce Empire. How did you come up with this idea?
All right, well, it's been in the works for about a decade. We really focused on trying to bring a sort of a family night out activity where, you know, the entire family can go and enjoy themselves, you know, from the kids to the adults all the way through, and that's what it's about.
Oh my gosh.
So let's hop into the reviews and see what people had to say about it. Did this place pump itself up to be more than it actually is? Let's see what Hasib had to say. This place looked cool online, but it's really underwhelming. It's extremely expensive for what it is and not the premium entertainment experience they make it out to be. For what they charge for a birthday, you could rent out your own bounce castles with catering and a bartender and pay way less. Well, that paints a pretty good picture to start. Let's see what other people had to say. You get a bit of an idea of what the pricing model is with C here. Cost too much. $20 to enter and then 33 cents a minute. If you're not using the bounce equipment, you are still being charged if you're within the boundaries. Food is mediocre and not for kids. Don't waste your time or money. The setup is so that parents get lost in the chatting and drinks and kids run up the tab. No way 5 hours should have cost nearly $400. Definitely will not go back.
That's the best.
And you have good food too, right?
Oh yeah, we actually have 3 chefs that have been trained by Michelin star chefs and run those kitchens, and they're in Bounce Empire, so the food is amazing. I'm trying to certainly shoot for some of the best food in any park in the world, and the bar is gorgeous too.
So even with the 3 chefs that are Michelin trained and stuff, the food was still mediocre. Besides that fact, it almost sounds like the plot out of like that mobile game Adventure Capitalist. Like you pay $20 to get in and they charge you 33 cents a minute and you're just seeing those money graphs go up, and the owner's just sitting in the back going, ha 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 ha, look at all this money I'm piling up while the parents buy booze and the kids play my bounty castles, ha ha ha. But in reality, it's all mediocre. Lakeisha is here to let us know how this place actually is. Anyone used to a fun club scene should take a hard pass on this place. To start, it's located in the sleepy family town of Lafayette, which is too far away from Denver to attract the crowd that is going to make this place pop at night. The whole vibe was really lame. Secondly, the venue just doesn't work unless you like to get club out with a warehouse full of bounce castles, which isn't exactly appealing unless you are under 8 years old. The food and drinks are just okay. Sounds like it's a bit too far out of Denver to make it really fun in that club scene. It also sounds kind of lame when you put it as a warehouse full of bounce castles. My last time on a bounce castle type thing was at my 5th grade graduation with the Iron Man thing, and we also had some inflatables at my senior lock-in in high school, but besides that, I've never gone to a bounce castle place or been on one. I didn't think you were allowed on one after the age of 18, or maybe it's 21, I don't know. I'm just kidding. The Bounce House has a different little saga that actually happened at it, and I like to call it the Chris Brown saga. No, not the old running back in the NFL, the musician. Let's see what happened. Alyssa leads us off with, I live in Lafayette and I take my kids to Bounce Empire. I attempted to go to an after party for Chris Brown yesterday and I was told it was sold out, but when people arrived after me, somehow they got to enter. Some, not all stuff, were not very welcoming, didn't even make eye contact. I didn't like how I was treated. She meant staff, not stuff, but... Sounds like to me the people who got let in afterwards probably had tickets they bought beforehand instead of showing up expecting to buy them. Patricia was also at the Chris Brown after party and she had to say, total ripoff. The worst host for an after party celebrity, Chris Brown. Not worth $600, overcharging, pick and choosing who gets selected VIP, unorganized, unprofessional service. Next time I'd rather go somewhere else and feel robbed from this venue. Ridiculous. Unless I get to meet the person themselves, I'm not paying $600 to go to an after show VIP type thing. That doesn't sound fun at all. I would be stressed out the whole time trying to have as much fun as possible and be so annoyed when things would be going wrong I couldn't enjoy myself. Maybe I'd go if it was free. Does Jordan have the answer to the Chris Brown saga? Let's find out. Chris Brown after party was a complete scam. Called the place days in advance to confirm what time he would be there and they advised 12:30 a.m. Chris Brown did not arrive till the event was nearly over. There was not interaction with the crowd. Such a false advertised event will not be back. Alyssa couldn't get in. Patricia got in and had a bad time, and Jordan got in and stayed all the way until Chris Brown was there and also was disappointed. So it sounds like this Chris Brown after party was a total scam. Imagine how many people went to that and will never go back to this place and give it such a bad reputation. The real question is, did Chris Brown and his team know that they were going to a place that was a glorified adult super playground with giant inflatable bounce castles and other stuff like that? I kind of doubt it. and maybe they caught wind of what it was and were like, yeah, let's stay in at a different club scene, or maybe they didn't know it was so far away from Denver. You never know. Our next stop is a place that I've actually been to many times, even back in the day when it was called Camp Snoopy. That's right, it's the Nickelodeon universe inside the Mall of America in Minnesota. What went so wrong for Lexi here? Our visit on April 27th, 2024 was credited tickets that we got from a previous visit that we left after 20 minutes because of multiple rides being closed. And we had an even worse experience this time. My daughter, who is 50 inches and was denied entry on multiple rides that stated she needed to be 48 inches with an adult, which I was there with her. She got poked by a broom of an employee sweeping and no apologies or acknowledgement at all. I immediately asked for a refund and got my money back for all 3 tickets we purchased. 4 major rides were not operational at all. Highly disappointed. The park is not big or worth the money you pay at all. As a kid, this place was giant. And even as an adult, as you can see in the video I'm showing in the background, it is a decently sized park for being inside of a shopping mall. But yeah, it's not going to be as big as like a Disney or even the Valley Fair that's also in Minnesota. If you want that kind of experience, go there. Does it get any better for Georgia? Where to start? The place is dirty. The ride staff are extremely rude. The restrooms are always closed at the peak hours for cleaning. People are always cutting in line. There are credit card skimmers that will stand behind you at the ticket kiosk to steal your info. Some rides will be closed an hour before park closing time. It's just not worth the hassle. Rude staff and line cutters. I feel like we're back at the Funplex in New Jersey. So far it's been all terrible. Does it get any worse for Steve? Worst experience ever. Keep your kids away from the Paw Patrol play area. Our son broke his arm from them making you wear regular socks and not padded socks to prevent you from slipping. He came over the top of one of those obstacles and slipping and breaking his arm. The gentleman running the area didn't know what to do and was only calling security, not 911, as my son's arm was flapping around like a glove. Ron, to find some help by a random bystander, has to call 911 for us and waited 40 minutes for the ambulance to get there. Not once did someone that worked there come to see what happened or to check on my son the whole 40 minutes waiting for the ambulance. The security and cop were finally there to help us keep under control and to help my son stay calm. I'll never go here again knowing this, how they handle a situation like this. Not once did someone say anything, not even a EMT setup or any protocol when someone breaks an arm. They still need to fill out an injury reports. The one security guy says this happens all the time. They need to do something about this. My big question is, why couldn't Steve or his partner or wife or whoever he was there not call 911? Why'd they expect everyone else around? I know they're tending to their kid, but you can also call 911. Hey, my kid broke his arm. This is where I am. This is who I am. I am the parent, instead of trying to make other people do it in the bystander effect. Overall terrible experience, but an overall confusing review. Chuck decided to go on a holiday. Did he have a better experience? Labor Day weekend. Long lines. Not unusual, but what was unusual was the line stopping for several rides with no explanation. I bought my daughter a wristband 1.5 hours ago and she's in her 3rd line that just stopped. The ride stopped, people got off, the attendants stared at their phones and didn't let anyone else on. No explanation, just terrible experience. At this rate, we'll have to pay $50 to go on maybe 2 rides. What a ripoff. This place makes Disney look efficient. I personally would avoid amusement parks or theme parks or indoor parks or anything like that around Labor Day if you want anything to be done efficiently. Like, it's going to be overcrowded with less staff because people are going to be wanting to take vacations and nobody wants to be there. I would just like go do something at like a park that you don't need to rely on employees and other things to be working. I don't know. Trisha brought her twins to the park, and no, not the Minnesota Twins. I love you, Joe Mauer. And another super long run-on sentence, so here we go again. Not a place for the disabled kids to be there. They have special exits for them to enter for the ride, and the guy saw me with my disabled twins and told us to wait till the next ride, and then filled the ride with kids just walking in the line and said we had to wait again, and then called the mall cops. Don't waste your money. They're all discriminating against me and my twins, and the mall cop wanted to jump in my face. Never go to this cockroach mall. This is a review that I would kill for the other side of the story, or some security camera or stuff. Like, why would the security cop try to fight a mom with disabled twins? Like, it's a very confusing review. This is one of my favorite ones, but I'm still very confused. I'm a big pros and cons guy, and so is Will. Pros: an amusement park in a mall is awesome. They had some very cool rides. Cons: excessive line jumping and no security. Slow ride operations and very crowded. Plan on only getting on 1 ride per hour. As someone who doesn't live too terribly far from the Mall of America and has been there probably more than 50 times in their life, it is pretty cool for an amusement park in the middle of the mall, but if you're not a kid, it does lose its flair, unless you like to go on like a really chill roller coaster, which I'll be showing during this video too. That roller coaster was always one of my favorites growing up. I was terrified terrified of most of the rides, but the log flume and the roller coaster were my jams, man. California dreamin'. Yeah, that's right, we're going to California, to Newport Beach, California, to the Balboa Fun Zone. Located in Southern California, this area attracts an estimated 7 million visitors a year to it. Not all for the fun zone and the arcade and all that stuff around it, but for the just general area and the nice weather. So let's go see what people had to say about the fun zone. A short and concise review from Rob here, and he had to say, not fun and smells like sewage. Will definitely never return. Not much to add to that. 3 years ago, Oliver had a weird thing to say. Sad to hear they are tearing the place down. But then 3 weeks ago, David had something else to say that is completely contradicting. Been coming here since '94 and it's always a blast. Unfortunately, there's new management for the rides. The teenagers stare at their phone the whole time in the ticket booth, dude. Man, I didn't know you could combine beta male and grump in the same person. Kids will still have fun, but hoping management reads this and has a talk with their staff. They should remember the fun part in the fun zone. Sounds like they didn't tear it down and it's gone downhill in the last 30 years. Maybe it was due to be torn down and someone else bought it? I don't know. RV visited 2 years ago and they had to say, the arcade has free plays turned off if you win what you're playing. Cheap owners. Jeff is confused by this one. Oh, I hurt myself in confusion. Sounds like Stephanie and the Ferris wheel man did not get along. What happened? The grown man running the Ferris wheel this week was an awful businessman and exceptionally creepy. I didn't trust him for a second. It wasn't clear how to pay as I had a card. He asked for $12. I said I only had a card. Instead of indicating whether he took credit or not, he just yelled at me to pay before we boarded, which is what I was already attempting to do. I left with my kids in tow and was very glad we left. He seemed to need a little TLC, so if you're his mom, please make him his favorite meal and have a little sit-down talk with him about how to be nice to people. Sounds like to me the grown man running the Ferris wheel needs to go back to Ferris wheel school to learn his proper behavior. They teach you that at Ferris wheel school. Wait, no, you don't, because you don't need to go to school to run a Ferris wheel. It's nobody's dream to run a Ferris wheel unless you own a Ferris wheel. You're super into building Ferris wheels. I think it's a little exceptional to be expecting like top-tier customer service at a theme park, especially from the man running the Ferris wheel. I would have a hard time coming to work enthusiastically if I was running a Ferris wheel and pressing like 3 buttons and having to deal with people like this all day, but you know, maybe I'm in the wrong. I probably am. Maybe this guy was a big jerk or something. I don't know. And with that, we've made it to the end of the video, and if you're still here, please leave a like and subscribe for more, and make sure you check out some other videos on my channel if you like this one, and don't forget to comment what you want to see me do next, because I've been Jeff, and I can't wait to see you next time. Goodbye, 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 goodbye. I love you.
Oh my God.